All right, it says I am live. How's everyone doing? It was weird. All of a sudden, my camera shut off and I had to go back in and reload it. So I don't know what was going on. I might have accidentally hit a button. I had my hands banging around on the screen. So hopefully, y'all can see and hear me. Just let me know if you can, just to make sure we are good. I can see myself, but didn't wanted to make sure. Let's see here. First, we had Mike High. He was number one. And then we had Ranger 10 was number two, and the bets were number three was going to be Pistol Pete, but it was actually Dirt Track 410, and then CZ Shadow 2, Pistol Pete, Milkman, all that good stuff. How's everyone doing? Drinking Screwball mixed whiskey with whipped cream vodka. Wow. Okay. Never had that, but let's see here. Let me catch back up here. Lynn Holt, how are you? Hello, Bagger Bro. How are you? Got a fun one and a weird one to talk about tonight. Had a little incident last night, and I'll bring you up to speed. It was just very weird. Um, Nothing happened, thank goodness. But sometimes people like to hear what happens when you're on the road, um, and we'll get into it in a minute. Just want to make sure everybody gets on and all that stuff. I need my brother's mortgage forgiven. It's an educational loan. Yeah, that's another thing I was going to talk about. I need three refunds. So that's what I need. And I wonder if he's going to help me out with that. He's not. And actually, we're going to be paying for everybody else's that wants this loan forgiveness deal. So, it is what it is. But shit's out of control. Printing money, printing money. And of course, if y'all have any questions, speak up. I do have something coming in also. We can just go ahead and get into that now. A buddy of mine had a holster that I was kind of looking at, going, that looks pretty unique. Um, and he actually carries 2011s and stuff like that. So he said, yeah, this one's made a little differently. Anyway, he told me the company, and he knows the owner of the company, and he said, hey, just give him a call and talk to him and everything. So I talked to him and said, we kind of just chatted for a while, and I said, hey, I'd love to try one of your holsters, da 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 da. And he said, okay, I'll send you one. Went over, he asked like what kind of colors and stuff like that, and it is set up for a certain item, but that's why I want to test it. I'm not just going to do a video and open it up and say here it is, and that's why I'm not talking about the name yet, because y'all all know me. If I get it, I don't like it, something's weird or whatever, I'm not going to say it's the best thing since sliced bread because of the way it looks. I want to be able to test it, wear it a little bit, and then I'll do kind of it'll already be boxed open, but we'll kind of go from there on it. But just want to let y'all know that. Let's see here. Yeah, all of this stuff is just driving crap down and, of course, hurting our inflation even more. So it is what it is. Hello, Gun Snob. How are you, man? But anyway, once I get it, I should actually. I think it's going to arrive at my house tomorrow. I'm not in town though. I'm out of town. Um, if y'all remember, I want to see if anybody really remembers. I said it in last week's chat, and I've got some usuals in here. Where did I say that I was going to be this week? If anybody remembers, where did I say that I was going to be this week? I want to see who was paying attention. Let's see here. Big J, have you heard of the American State National Movement spearheaded by David Straight? I don't believe I have, DC. I can look that up, though. National Movement. American State National Movement. I'll look it up after the chat. Damn, look at that, man. Hey, Matt Moore, how are you? What's up, Bald and Curious? Rock Chalk was the first. So Rock Chalk actually remembered, man. That's awesome. And Mike High was there. Lynn Holt was there. So that's awesome. Hell, I can't believe y'all remember it. Sometimes I don't remember stuff, from yesterday. So, but Especially just sometimes when people are talking, sometimes stuff flies over my head, or I just don't catch the actual little details. Hello, Pistol Pete. Yeah, I'm actually in Texas, of course, in a different time zone, though, as y'all all know, or maybe you don't know. El Paso is Central Time, so it's Mountain Time. Excuse me, it's Mountain Time. So I'm an hour behind, Dallas. So I'm still in Texas, but in a different time zone. It's so weird, uh, but it is what it is. What's up, Needles Kane? How are you, man? There you go. Means I didn't have enough whiskey last week. Who are you? Um, let's see here. Yes, these college loans, y'all probably heard about it, and we all know what he's doing. He's trying to buy voters. We all know that. Um, it's kind of a bribe. They should look at that as a bribe. Bribery is illegal, actually. So that's one thing. Hopefully, somebody brings up. Let's see here. But I am gonna get that holster, test it, see what I think about it, and then I will, you know, if I like it and all of that stuff. Of course, I will let y'all know about it. Um, it's kind of a unique look and definitely a unique pattern. I don't want to give it away, but I let him pick it, and he made a really good choice. So I think it looks really, really cool. So let's see here. All right. Oh, and also one of my customers here, he knows I'm a gun guy. He's a gun guy, all of that stuff. He actually knows I have a YouTube channel. Something going on here. Hang on, hang on. Don't lose me. Don't leave me. I see what it's doing. Hang on. Sorry about this. Nope, that's not it. Hang on, I'm trying to get it to come back up. There it goes. Wonder why in the world this thing's doing that. Sorry about that. I guess I'm not going to touch it. I might have a short in my webcam wire that apparently maybe is what's going on. Hello, reloading. But anyway, he actually got his first 300 blackout, and he's super excited to try it out. So he will. He's going to try it out and then let me know what he thinks about it. But he just got it, so never had a 300 blackout. So I was like, man, that's one of my favorite calibers. And of course, I like all 30 cal. We all know that. I've talked about it before. Hello, LW. How are you, man? Yeah, it could be here. Little Francis. Yep, I know where Fort Scott is. Olathe, Kansas. Yep, I go there quite a bit too. I want to make sure I don't hit this wire again. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. It's the first time it's ever done that. Where did it go here? Hello, James Johnson. How are you? All right. Well, I had a situation last night that I wanted to talk about. So, y'all all prepare. It is kind of weird. I took some customers to dinner last night. I had a couple of my coworkers with me and took some customers to dinner last night. Leaving the restaurant, they went that way, out of the front door over to their vehicle. I parked on the far side over here, kind of in the parking lot next to it. Um, I hit the unlock. They were walking. I was still kind of talking to one of the customers. They got in my truck. They were inside secure. Then I started walking across there, and this guy started yelling. He was probably, I don't know, at first he was about, I don't know, I'd probably say 25 or 30 feet, or I'm sorry, 25, maybe 25 yards from me. Bigger guy, about, I was actually probably about my size. And he starts yelling, hey man, can I have some money? And I don't know, he was acting kind of weird. He was either intoxicated or maybe on something. Hey man, I need to have, or do you have some money I can have? And I was like, nope. And I just took a couple of steps towards the truck, and he didn't run, but he kind of like walked really briskly, and I was like, okay, this is weird. So I turned around, and he stopped. He was probably about, I don't know, 12 yards from me, and he's like, man, I need some money. And I said, no, I don't have any money to give you. And then he goes, I need to get a ride. And I was like, no. And he kind of started taking a couple more steps, and I went like that. And I think when he did that, saw me posture up, he was kind of like, started looking around, and then he just walked off. I was like, what the hell was that about? And then I got in the truck, and they were like, what the hell was that guy? And I said a couple of bad words. Like when I postured up, I was like, you better get the F away. And I don't know, it was just really weird. They were asking me, like, why were you yelling at the guy? I was like, no, he was yelling at me. And anyway, I was just like, this is weird. So, um, it kind of happened around UTEP, if y'all know where that is. It was very, very close to UTEP. I don't know if he was a drunk student. I don't know what he was, but I don't know what the hell was going on with that. But it was just very, very strange. So anything can happen. So just be prepared. Let's see here. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anything. Hello, Havoc. How are you? So that was something that happened. I know some people like hearing, some people probably don't care, but you run into weird people every once in a while. This wasn't anybody throwing a Twinkie at my truck, though. Brian said he just picked up his Shield Plus. What a great carry gun. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Keep us in the loop after you keep shooting it. Let us know what you think about it. I don't trust anyone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just weird stuff. And that's the thing. If you don't know a person and they just kind of start walking up to you, like to start talking, you keep your space. I have my space. I don't know you. I don't want you walking up on me. I didn't notice anything in his hands or anything. That doesn't mean he didn't, but you know, you just don't know. You never know, Bald. Like I said, you don't know. Could have been. What's up, Mike Hawkins? How are you? You showed him your Big Johnson. He took off. No, I didn't show him that, but you just don't know, man. Like I said, it's just weird. Has anyone actually had to use their CCW? I haven't officially ever had to. I guess you know where I'm going with this. I don't want to say it because YouTube hates us already, but you know, that's probably all I want to say. Two times. This was almost a third. I guess I'll just leave it like that. Yes. Anyone ever notice that colleges are surrounded by crappy neighborhoods? Well, that's what's so weird. This is a very nice restaurant. It's not a crappy neighborhood, but like I said, I don't know if it was a college person. I don't know if it was just, he never got close enough to where I could really see his face. If he was older, younger, that doesn't mean anything. You could still be older and be in college. But just be aware of your surroundings. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Don't turn your back on stuff because you just don't know. If I was concerned, that's why I turned around and faced him, because if I would have started walking towards my truck and I couldn't see behind me, I didn't know if he was going to run at me, or you just don't know. So there you go. Bald said my cousin did, and USCCA came through. He got to go home. Yeah, I have FLP. I've talked about it before, firearms legal protection, and that's good in all of the states that I travel. So I made sure and got that set up for that. Well, yeah, Mike, I said every college he had been to with his daughter was nice. Yeah, a lot of the areas are really nice. I'm not saying everything's a bad area. Mike is saying, I rented the M&P Shield Hellcat 365 and did not notice a significant difference between the three, nor did I regret having purchased my G43X after testing those either. Yeah, I mean, if that's what y'all are wanting, or the smaller micro pistols, by all means, get them and rock them if they work for you. They don't work for me, but I know they work for a lot of people. Probably a really good choice for, many people. Um, let's see here. Yes, and if there's anything that y'all are excited about, I have seen, some. Oh, I did want to ask this. Did anybody see the new charger, the electric charger that Dodge kind of released a, like a sneak preview of? Did anybody see that? And here, this is the first electric car with actually added motor noise. They're trying to make it sound like a Hellcat. I mean, you can tell that it's not, but they're trying to give it some kind of noise. I didn't know if anybody saw that or even cared about it. But it's not going to be slow. It is not going to be slow. Let's see here. Not all of us can palm a basketball like you. Man, I could palm a basketball when I was 11. So I don't even know if I could palm a basketball now. Got a little bit of arthritis going on. We all know that happens over time. Hello, Vanessa Kitty. How are you? Let's see here. We just got a Hellion in the shop today. Weird ass PCC. Yeah, it's definitely different. That's not a pistol caliber carbine though. That's a 5.56 223, isn't it? Mike, they're actually saying that it's 1,300 horsepower, so it is supposed to be the fastest electric car out. But however, it's going to be probably one of the heaviest. It's a big, big boy. But who knows? This is more of still a prototype edition, so who knows how it's going to be finalized? It could be a lot different. Let's see here. I saw it, Big J. Like they made a two-door, like the look, except the wheels look hideous. Yeah, and they're keeping the wheel or have the wheels that way because on electric vehicles it actually is supposed to increase fuel mileage. Who knows? I don't like the wheels either. But yep, Brian, that's what I said. I said good luck with all of these EVs coming out and all this other stuff. Where the hell are going to charge them? And I don't know if y'all know this, but at Tesla charging stations, how they'll have multiple charging stations. Okay, if you're the only one there and you're charging, it's giving you kind of the full charge. The more people that are there, it actually pulls away from your charger. So it decreases the current to your charger because it's shared. So you might be there, an hour and 15 minutes, or you might be there 2 or 3 or 4 hours. That's what I'm saying. They're not set up for this. And we actually have, I wouldn't call them friends, but they're acquaintances, and they bought a new Tesla. And he's like, "Oh, this is great. We're going on a trip, blah, blah, blah." Well, anyway, they mapped out the trip, and there's not enough charging stations to get them to where they want to be. So they have a brand new Tesla, brand spanking new. They had to rent a car to go on vacation because they traded in their gas car. So they had to go rent a new car or rent a car to pay for that and then to go on their vacation. Just the two of them. I'm like, and I actually told him when they said that, I said, how much sense does that make? And he goes, well, we still are being green. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever, you know. And then I asked him, I said, do you think you just have an electric bush that you plug into and it's pulling power out of a bush? I said, all the electric is made by wind, solar, coal, nuclear. How do you think you get electricity? I mean, and he was just kind of looking at me like I was an idiot. I'm just like, dude, they have got you hook, line, and sinker, believing all this crap. Arizona. Let's see here. Headed to the range. IBG. That's awesome, man. Oh, the EVs are super, super fast off the line. I mean, I don't know if y'all really know about them, but it's like a light switch. There's no, of course, when you hit the gas on a regular car, it has to shift through your transmission gears and it has to, your throttle control response, has to basically rev up the engine. When you hit the gas pedal on an EV, it is literally pure torque and pure power instantly. I mean, it is like it will slam your head back. I rode in a Tesla Plaid and it was stupid, stupid fast. So I can just imagine what this thing, and the Tesla Plaid is what, 1150 horsepower. So if this thing is 1300 horsepower, that's going to be insane. Yeah, and I don't know if y'all have heard this. Pistol Pete's saying too much power to use on the street, and he's exactly right. If you look around, a lot of Teslas are wrecked, and it's usually within the first couple of months, and that's leaving like Hellcats, red eyes, things like that. Usually, after the customer buys them, they've either hit a curb, swung it out, lost the rear end, they've hit a curb, uh, they've totaled it, they've crashed it, usually within the first month of owning it. Back when the Vipers originally came out, I believe in 94, I think. And we used to have customers come in all the time on flatbeds that just totaled their Viper right off the bat. I mean, it happens all the time. Normal people that aren't used to that, especially and I'm not saying how I'm an old guy, but I'm saying, the guys that go through their like midlife crisis and run out and buy a fast car or whatever they hear is the fastest car, they can't handle it because it's instant. It doesn't rev up to let you kind of ride that power out. It's just instant power. So it's just boom, and a lot of them are all wheel drive. So, but they still lose, and they're so much heavier than your average car. So, one thing a lot of people haven't brought up is if you're in a regular old car just sitting there and an EV hits you, it is going to total your car because a lot of the EVs are double the weight of most cars. Look at the weight on the EV Hummer, the new electric Hummer. That thing is insane what it weighs, because of all those damn batteries, and the motors and stuff. I mean, they're super, super heavy. So, yep, one race and you're recharging it on a lot of these things. It's not. It's definitely not, Brian. Look at what's happening to California right now. All these people bumped up to buy all these EVs, and they're having these rolling power blackouts and stuff. People can't charge their cars. They don't have AC. They don't have anything, um, so they can't drive it if their cars are dead. It's crazy, but whatever. Yes, and you're exactly right, Vanessa. Kitty, cold weather will chew a battery up too. I mean, wind, like if you're going in a headwind, that's why most of your EVs are so damn low to the ground. They're trying to pull out, and the wheels are made that way. They're trying to pull out and some of them have really small side mirrors. They're trying to kill your help with any wind resistance that they can. My fun car is a 99 Mustang GT with a built motor, 2-in-1 Kennedy Bell supercharger, 500 rear wheel horsepower. Safe street tune is enough for me. Yeah, that'll get you where you want to go. Had a lot of rain, in the areas that I live. Never really had flooding. Did have some rain here in El Paso also, but so far we're all good. I know some areas got hit pretty bad. So if you're in those areas, man, please be safe and hope everything worked out for you. Yep, I've said that. Hell, I've said that numerous times on these chats, Brian. People do not realize the carbon footprint of an EV. They just don't. Way, way worse than any gas vehicles. And a lot of that, truly, when you really break it down, and all these battery trays, most of those, they say they can recycle the batteries. Those people do not disassemble those batteries and recycle parts. They don't. They throw them in landfills. And I don't know everything about electric stuff, but that's as far as the batteries. That's kind of my business. That's part of my business. So, wow, I didn't know this. Average water heater uses 1,800 kilowatt annual. Estimates are one EV charges equals four water heaters. Wow, I did not know that breakdown. I haven't heard that part. 930 turbos. Yeah, there's actually some of the vehicles have four motors, one for each wheel. So that's what some are pushing for maximum power. I am going to have to go to Cali. It's not going to be anytime soon. It'll probably be before the end of this year. I'll be heading out there. It's probably going to be maybe once a quarter, um, something like that. I'm not going to be excited to go, but it is what it is. Green. Yes, it is. Does that Yugo have a Briggs and Stratton in it? I remember those Yugos, man. Those things were train wrecks. Those were train wrecks. Actually, a buddy of mine had one, and believe it or not, my big ass was in the front passenger seat, and I had it moved back. He was shifting gears, and the shifter came off in his hand, and he rolled over on the road, and got in a safe area. I pulled off the shifter boot, and that thing was held on by a cotter pin. Literally goes in there and has a little shaft that goes through there, and it's held on by a cotter pin. And the cotter pin had popped out, so I had to dig all through there. Still couldn't find the cotter pin, so I had to get a paper clip, and we bent it all around there, like doubled it through the hole with a paper clip, and that was just to get us to where we needed to go. And we still couldn't find a cotter pin, so I ended up taking a galvanized nail that was much thicker. I put the nail through it and bent the nail all the way around in like a circle. So there's no way the hell that thing was going to come out, and it would never shear the nail. So that's what I did. Am I an AK guy? No, I have shot them. I did an AK class. I've owned an AK and I've shot them in the past, but to say that I'm like a diehard AK guy, I'm really not. I do like 7.62 by 39. I prefer 300 blackout bolt more personally, just because of your choice in ammo, because you can go all the way from 90 grain all the way up to 230 grain. So I do like the ammo selection better. But AK guy or AKs, a lot of them are really too short for me. A lot of the AKs, I have to have the longer stocks. But I'm just would rather have an AR style rifle personally. Nothing, not knocking AKs, but a lot like you're going to have to modernize an AK. Put a rail on it, things like that. To me, honestly, with my vision, I really can't see the sights all that great. I can still use them. I used them in the AK class. Matter of fact, if you watch the video, I even talk about it. The AK that they let me borrow was a Century Arms, and the front sight was actually bent over, and because I had really nice groups, but they were all to the left. And then I was like, what the hell? I mean, I'm not shooting crooked, and then I kind of just tilted a little bit, and then I manually moved the groups over. But I'm like, okay. And I started looking at it when we had downtime, and I was like, this front sight's bent. And Chandler up there, he looked at it and he goes, oh shit, it is. So we scrapped that thing. And then I ended up using his with a red dot. And I mean, it was like night and day. So, because I thought, man, my eyes must really be bad. Hello, Clyde. How are you? That's the thing. My Texas CHL or LTC is not recognized there. So we're going to see. Let's see here. Hang on. Where'd it go? My wife just came over and said, you should have told that guy, I don't have cash to give you. How about, yeah. I don't want to, I'm not the guy to brandish unless I need to, and threaten unless I need to. It didn't. If he would have kept coming, it would have been a different situation. But didn't have to do any of that, so just left it alone. Hi, Big J. Any recommendations on a storage cover for a Holosun 507C? Saw some on Amazon. Not sure if they're any good. The only covers I've ever used for dots I have gotten from, gosh, what is it? Panda, Panda. Crap, I have some for my SROs. No, I only have his for SROs. It's called Panda something, and he 3D prints them. They're kind of like a soft. They're not a hard cover, and you can get them in different colors. Mine are bright orange. God dang it, what is the name? I've got a video where I talk about it. It's one of my older videos from my Shadow 2. And I actually talk about it and I say his name in it, but man, I haven't bought one in so long from him. So you could probably check that, but it's Panda something. I just can't remember the damn name of it. No, it's not Trash Panda, because that's what my suppressor is. God dang it. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. But they do work very well. And his kind of snap on, so they don't, like, if it's in your holster, it won't just fall off if you're at a match or something. Some of them are so loose, they just fall off. I love AKs, though I admit ARs are just overall superior weapons. AKs made a lot more sense when the rifles, mags, and ammo were dirt cheap. That's just not the case anymore, but I got mine. Yeah, I mean, AKs are, like I said, they work. I mean, they're made to take a beating. I mean, obviously, hell, they still use them over there. Yes, Range Panda. You are correct, Bald. It is. It's Range Panda. That's the name of it. AA. It's called Range Panda. Yep, you're right, Bald. Yes, Pistol Pete. I was just saying that the other day. I was like, CZ really needs to release some new pistols, and I don't know when they're going to wait to do it, or if it's just, how they're kind of a little behind the curve. Um, but I said that the other day too. I was talking to Harry from Harry's Holsters, and I was like, they do need to come out with some new pistols. So, and I haven't heard anything. I bumped into the rep again, and I was just chatting with him, but I meant to ask him that, but then he actually got busy and was helping them. So I'm just having a Coke Zero from Waterburger tonight. It was next door, and like I said, this thing was. I had to start this chat at 6 their time here, so I was in a hurry, and there's one just right down the street, so I went down there and grabbed it. Let's see here. Anything else anybody's excited about? I've had a lot of questions, or had some questions about what the hell was the name, or what were they talking about? Oh crap! What was the name of that pistol? The buddy that I was talking about. He's a customer, but he's also a friend. That bought that 300 Blackout. He just bought 2 of the PSA daggers, and he's been shooting them, and asked what I thought about them. And I told him, I said, I haven't personally shot one. I just saw some of the earlier, I think it was the Gen 1, where some of the pins were walking out. So I just told him, I said, I think yours is probably already revised, because they were talking about a Gen 2 frame or something. I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know that to be a fact. But I did tell him to keep an eye on those, because that's the only thing I've heard. But I've never shot one. Have you all played with them? And if so, what do you think about them? Let's see here what I missed. And that is what I think is probably going to come, Ranger. I think they're probably going to have a P10F. That's just my guess. They're going to have a P10F that is going to be available in 10 millimeter. That's what I was honestly thinking. Richard, I have not seen any updates on the CSX, so I don't know if they have or not. I figured they might have an optic ready one coming, but I haven't seen one, so I don't know. Shadow 3 compact, yeah, that'd probably be pretty cool. CZ needs a true micro 9 like the 365. They have the P10S and then that single stack model. Yeah, I think it's the P10M, but they're missing out on the hot selling market right now. Yeah, and I have actually I've heard of some people that were having the micros and we're shooting them and stuff like that, and then are actually kind of going back to more of a compact size. But I think it's most people with larger hands, because a couple of people that I know that do videos, they were actually kind of making those comments, and that's what they were finding. But they shot a lot of the micros fine. They're just finding more comfortability, I guess, going back to more of the compacts. And we all know that like some people are seasonal, like they'll use the micros during the summertime when it's hot, and then, when they can wear a jacket and stuff, they might go back to their regular compact or full size pistol. So I guess it just depends on the person and what they're into. 10 millimeter guns are highly subjected to problems with the stress of the 10 millimeter round. So much wear and tear on all guns in 10 millimeter. A lot of people don't think about if you are going to shoot a lot of 10 millimeter, and that's the thing, it is a lot more expensive, but to do a bunch of training with it and a bunch of shooting and a bunch of practice, you're going to put some wear on a gun. I'm not saying you're going to wear the gun out, but it is a high powered round. It's kind of like when 40 came out. A lot of people were into 40s, and I did, or well, part of my degree and stuff is electronic y'all have all seen bolts where they are EMP tested. It's or electrical magnetic particle inspected. I actually had the booth where I could go in and magnetize it, check it with the blue light, do all the other stuff. And I had a bunch of 40s back in the day. And some I shot a lot, some I didn't shoot a lot, but I actually took them in along with some of my 9 barrels and actually MP tested them. And I did see a lot of my 40s did have some. Now these are only, a lot of these were only surface cracks. Doesn't mean it's inferior metal, doesn't mean it was going to break, but they actually have surface cracks. And if you check it with the light and you can see the line, that usually means that it's a surface crack that is starting to embed into it. It could be a fatigued part, things like that. Well, what's funny is really in all of the 9s that I tested at that time, I didn't have any, there was nothing, no cracks, no nothing. However, when I got into the 40s, some of those I shot just regular 40s, some were 40 plus P, things like that. They actually had cracks in them. I'm not saying they would ever break or it could take a lot of time to break, but the MP, when you MP test things like that, it just doesn't lie. And so after really doing that test on my own, nobody told me to do it. I just had access to do it and I was certified to do it. So I actually did it. And I was just like, you know what? I don't really need this. And 40 is a high pressure round. So, it is what it is. But, let's see here. Anyone have a Holosun EPS carry optic? Just got mine and it looks like there are small reflections in the bottom of the window, almost 2 dots. This normal, anyone? You could be getting, there's dual pane glass in there. It could be refracting and bouncing around in there. Not saying that you're having truly 2 dots. You're just getting, in certain angles, like, if you really look up into the sun with some, you can kind of see like a sun refraction where it looks like you have 2 dots. It might just be the dual pane that you're not used to. So I would check it in all different light and just see if it's an issue or if it might be with that one. I do have a subscriber that does have one. He's done videos on his and he really likes it. And he hasn't mentioned that. So it might just be the different lights that's causing it to reflect off that glass or bounce around in there. So that might be what's going on. I'm not sure. I'm not an engineer, but that might be what's going on. Well, this thing's flying. Hang on, let me catch back up here. Just bought a Holosun 510C and a 3x magnifier and a combo from Primary Arms for my Scorpion. Getting out to 100 yards is no problem and accurate too. Yeah, I mean, I still use a lot of magnifier and dot combos, and of course I have some with LPVOs, but it's really what you want. A lot of people say, well, the LPVOs are super heavy, and they are heavy, but by the time you put a magnifier and a dot in the mounts, sometimes I'm not saying you're going to be close to, but and a lot of it can take up quite a bit of space depending on the length of that magnifier. They're usually shorter than an LPVO, but now some of the LPVOs are coming in a compact length. Now they're more expensive, but they're actually very compact and they're a lot lighter. They even have 1 to 8 that's like 16 ounces. So that's really not bad for an LPVO. So IBG said, I saw a video a while ago where someone thought CZ was going to release a 10 millimeter 97B. We'll see. CZ Custom actually already makes. You can go on and look it up, but they make where they take, I think it's a 97B or a BD, and they were converting some of them to 10 millimeter. I don't know if they still are, but they did do some of them. I don't know if it was like a one-off or 5 lot or whatever, but I think they were doing some of those. Yeah, the 97B is gone. Yeah, Rock Chalk, the DWX is dead. They did an announcement a long time ago saying they weren't going to make it, that they had canceled it. However, not saying it won't ever come back. I wish it would. But as of right now, they did say that it's basically canceled. So we'll see. Yeah, and after this chat, y'all can go check out Chris from the 740. Take care, Reloading. I think there would be a demand for the DWX. I think people would actually buy it. I just don't know if CZ, Dan Wesson, all of them want to invest in it. I don't know, because I think if they really made the DWX, I think it would be a success having the compact and the full size. That it actually could take quite a bit of money away from Dan Wesson's 1911 business. I mean, honestly, I think it would, and I think they kind of were worried about that if the truth be known. Yeah, the Tanfos are actually nice. The 10 millimeter Tanfos are super nice. Matter of fact, the unlimited or the limited is really, really nice. Not sure if I mentioned it, but I finally fired my 8-inch Anaconda last week. When I shot the hard cast bearer loads, it was loud. The RO came by to ask what the hell was that. Yeah, I bet it was loud. I bet it was loud. Probably sounded like a damn 308 going off. All right. Any other questions or comments or anything like that y'all can think of? Anybody got any cool trips coming up the rest of this summer or what's left of it? I know some people have kids and they're going back to school now. But and also, did y'all hear about the teacher shortage? I mean, there's teachers like in all these different states that are needing teachers like crazy. They're even saying that they'll pay like all these signing bonuses and stuff to bring them in from other states and all this other stuff. So I don't know. Where's the cheap ammo at, man? I don't know. If you find out, you better let me know. It's not cheap. Every once in a while, I'll see pretty good deals at at Palmetto State Armory. They have some deals, but man, when they post them, I try to post them up for y'all on my community. So if you're not following me over there, do, because when some of these deals pop up, some of them are really, really good. So I'll throw it up there, but I've checked like 30 minutes after I post it and they're sold out. So from what I understand, when they have those, they have quite a bit in stock. So driving 1,500 miles cross country in 19 days. Wow. There you go. Oops, hang on. Went to an indoor range a week ago and they know will not allow any gun they consider to be too loud. What? All guns are pretty loud. What do you mean? Like they don't want any like 357s, 44 Magnums, 10 millimeter. I mean, what are they saying is loud? Guns are loud. Yeah. Cheap ammo 20 years ago. Yeah, when you could buy it, it had dust on it because it was sitting there. Going on a cruise next month, New Jersey to the Caribbeans. Wow. Okay. I haven't been on a cruise in 1,000 years. It's been a long ass time. Richard is going to Houston for a car auction in October. Is that Mecum? Is that the Mecum auction? I think Mecum has one, or is it Hayes? It's either Hayes or Mecum, I think, because I got the deal to go to that too. I think it was from Mecum, but I'm not sure. Lynn Holt will be in Dallas in about a week. That's awesome. You coming here for work or? Oh, Barrett Jackson. Yeah, I've been to many Barrett Jacksons. I didn't know that he was going to do it in. I didn't know he was going to Houston. Huh. Okay. Jeremy says just got back from El Paso actually this past weekend. Lived there for about 11 years and moved away 3 years ago to Las Vegas. Wow. Yeah. Las Vegas is not too far away. Find some fishing holes. I used to fish when I was really young, but I, I don't. I guess I don't have a lot of patience for fishing. Not saying it's a bad sport. I know a lot of people do it and love it. I just don't have the patience for it. I mean, I guess unless they're biting, I've been deep sea fishing many times, and if that is pretty cool. But new granddaughter. Okay, congratulations. Good deal. What are some of my favorite places to visit? Visit where? Let's see. Let me see if I missed your comment of where you're going. I probably just called it out. No, Rock Chalk, let me know where you're. Are you talking about just like when I go on a trip or what? If that's what you're asking, are you meaning a specific place? I like, well, I mean, when I go to Florida, I really like Seaside. I like Seaside, watercolors, been there a lot. Been there many times actually. Been to, of course, Alabama, Gulf Shores, Alabama. I really like that. Um, Been to Galveston 1,000 times. Water's not all that great, but it's kind of cool to just go and hang out and relax. Um, been to Vegas a million times. I get kind of bored of that. I really like Italy. Italy was an awesome place. Went to Tuscany, or not? Yeah, Tuscany. What was the other? Florence. Florence was awesome. Um, Been to Switzerland. Really liked it. Super, super expensive, but it was a lot of fun. Been to Paris 3 or 4 times. Don't really care for that. Been to London 3 or 4 times. Don't care for that. Been to Dubai. Dubai was actually pretty crazy. Got to ride camels. Go to a camel farm where they milk camels and they actually sell camel milk. It's actually very rare and it's very expensive. They do sell it to a lot of the rich people. It only has a 48-hour shelf life from what they told us, or I'm sorry, 24 to 48-hour shelf life. But they feed it to newborns. They feed camel milk to newborns because it is supposed to strengthen their bones. I don't know if that's true, but that was cool. Dubai was really crazy. Seen things I have never seen before. Super expensive, but it was a really cool place to visit. That was a long time ago, though. Like I said, I got pictures. You've probably seen them. I posted them up before I was riding camels. I did get to go to the desert, do sand bashing. That's what they call it. It's not sand duning, it's sand bashing, where you're in a Land Cruiser and you're like jumping sand dunes. That was pretty awesome. And then after that, they had a big party out in the desert. Had dancers, food, drinks, big huge festival. That was awesome. Met some, well, um, I was there on business, but I met a sheik. Talked to him, super nice guy. Had a briefcase, carried it around with him, had two bodyguards. When I met him, he opened up the briefcase to get a pen out because he was signing a contract that I was having him sign. The whole thing was full of money, a lot of money. And when they left in a Maybach, if you know anything about Maybachs or Maybach, some people pronounce it that way, but pretty crazy. Meekum will be in Houston in April. Okay, that's why I was probably thinking about that. The toilet blew up. The mountains in the upper West States. It's my heaven. Cool. All right. Looks like some people are saying some pretty cool places they like to go. Oh, one thing that was in Dubai, it was really kind of crazy. They actually have hawks. They call them something else, but they're hawks. And they put them on their arms and they have like little blinders on them and they fly them like they do like these. We got to watch it, but they let them go and hawks race other hawks. There were like, I don't know, or falcons. I'm sorry, they're not hawks, they're falcons. And they had like 5 or 6 falcons and they actually race and they go around these big tall poles out in the desert and the first one back to land on the guy's arm. And it's weird. What's weird is these falcons know like their owners, and I just thought that was kind of cool. They knew exactly where to land back, and they count them as like first, second, third, fourth place. I was just like, wow, that's crazy, but never seen that before. Hey, K4, how are you doing? Let's see here. Yeah. Rabbi, what's going on, man? Yeah, falcon. I guess that's what they called them, a falcon. Looked like a hawk to me, but they kept calling them falcons. I think I even have some pictures where they put that thing on and I had a big falcon sitting on there, and they put the blinders back on them so they can't see because sometimes they'll actually try to, peck you or bite you or whatever you call it. Carry knife recommendations. Just got a Matic Northman and just ordered a Scallywag MDV +1. Was carrying benchmark folder. Depends on which, like exactly what you're going to use it for. If you want a straight blade, I've got straight blades. I've got, I don't really go super, super crazy on knives. I do like the Rooks, Ruike. They're not expensive. I've got like 6 of them because sometimes I lose them. But it's Ruike. It's actually a very nice knife for like $30. They're not expensive. They're not made here, though, I will tell you that. But I've got one over there that, and I've beat the shit out of it, and it still works great. And I've already had a couple of them sharpened, and they sharpened them right up. IBG first rounds through the 97B. Oh, where did it go here? Hang on. First rounds through the 97B just now feels like a 9mm. Yeah, it's a great pistol. I really enjoy mine still. Oh, hang on a second. Something kicked in here. I don't want that. Right when I was going to answer or pull up a question, it kicked over. Do they taste good fried with hot sauce? I don't know. Yes, actually, Brian, I saw those. I've seen them online, but I saw one for the first time at Texas Gun Experience. They actually carry that brand now, and some of them are actually very nice looking knives. Oh, 97B is 10+1. 10+1 on 45. And they do. You can get +2. I think Tanfo makes them. You can get a +2 extension for them too. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Falcons can fly at speeds over 200 miles an hour. I did not know that, but I know when I watched that race, man, they were trucking, and it didn't take them any time to go around those poles. And those poles were pretty far away. Yeah, that was out in the middle of the desert. We were drinking wine, or that's what they brought, and it was crazy. They brought wine and hot Cheetos and regular Cheetos. That was what some of the Dubaians liked. So that's what they brought. And who am I to argue out in the desert watching Falcons race, drinking wine and eating Cheetos with my feet in the sand, barefooted with my feet in the sand? Somebody took a picture of me out there too, and I'm out in the sand by myself with a shirt and shorts on and no shoes, and I'm literally in the middle of the desert. It looks like I'm lost because there's nothing around me, and I'm just like looking around. And then they showed me the picture and gave it to me afterwards. I had no idea somebody even took it, but it literally looks like somebody just dropped me off in the middle of the desert and said, "Have fun." Oh, does it? The Tanfo Witness 45 uses the same mags as the 97B. Did not know that. I thought a lot of them were compatible, but I didn't know that it was the Tanfo Witness. Yeah, and then I've got a 45 single stack. Y'all have probably seen the tricked out STI, and it was STI before Staccato took them over. It's the camoed painted one that's optic ready and everything. I do run the Wilson Combat 10 rounds and 10 round mags in those, but it's a single stack. It's not a double stack. Nope, not naked in a beanbag chair eating Cheetos. Nope, that wasn't it. They took a picture for bids. Who knows? And what's crazy is before you have to stop when they're taking you out for sand bashing. You have to stop at this one area. They let all your tires down, which you should if you're going in the sand. If you've ever been on the beach in a truck or a Jeep or anything, you let your air pressure down. But you let your air pressure down, and then you turn in and you go into the dunes for the sand bashing. And when you come out, you actually go to another side of that tire store, and they air your tires back up properly. So when you go down the road, you're good to go. But that was pretty crazy. Well, Matt, there's a lot of people who don't own 1911. Some people have never owned a 1911 and just got a 2011. And then some people have 1911s and will never get a 2011. Some people have 1911s and they're only 9mm. They won't get a 45. So nothing wrong with it. Like I said, y'all know me. Get what you want, get what you like, shoot what you love. Bald, we know about you. You do dry firing in your pajamas. I've seen you doing that in your pajama short or pajama pants. You've even done live chat or live deals that way before back in the day. Yeah, and that's just, I brought that up the other day, Brian. CZs are very rarely talked about now since they haven't released anything new. You're exactly right. And that's what it is. It's, oh, here's this new, wonder. So that's you'll see everybody do videos on that. Then 2 weeks later, here's the next new wonder. Everybody does videos on that. Here's the next new wonder. It's like, and a lot of people just review new guns. I totally get it, but some people run out and buy all these new guns thinking it's going to buy their shooting better and things like that. When you're dealing with polymer guns and stuff like that, I mean, I've tested them myself. I've got plenty of polymer guns. Some I actually shoot better than other guns because of the trigger and things like that. But it gets to a point where one polymer gun seems like another polymer gun, seems like another polymer gun. It just kind of gets monotonous to me over a period of time. Especially like the 365s, and I'm not knocking them, but what do they have, like 4 or 5 versions now? They've had the SAS, the regular one, the X, the what was it? The comped one, then the one before the comped one. Now they have the X macro. It's like, and I know people who have every one of those, because they really like them, and that's cool. But it's just like, man, yeah, new shiny, shiny. Yep, new shiny, shiny. I totally agree with that. Let's see here. Where did it go? Yeah, pick one striker, fire or striker, and move on. Yeah, I mean, but there's going to be something different. If you like, this one might have an optic cut, this one might have a comp. I get it. I mean, I kind of like to get some pistols and then kind of make them my own. Y'all know that. If it's a pistol that I really really like and I know that I'm going to keep it, I'll do some customizations on it. Other than that, you know, another thing. All right. Well, it is 8 o'clock. If y'all have any questions or comments after this chat, please leave them, and I will definitely answer them for you. I don't want to step on Chris from the 704's chat. If y'all want to tune into that, go over and check it out afterwards. But I appreciate all y'all. Have a safe night. Remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate y'all.